Hey guys, Ziki here. Quick announcement. As of today, the Tao of Otaku is now Manga University. I think given what we do, the name Manga University just makes more sense, and someone took the domain for the Tao of Otaku. Anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know. Alright, so we did a podcast on manga openings, and yes, we do have a podcast, and you should definitely subscribe, but more on that later. I wanted to do a video examining one of the mangas we discussed on the podcast, Assassination Classroom by Yusei Matsui. Let's jump into the opening page. Looks fairly normal, right? A teacher, a group of students, but there's something strange going on here. I can't put my finger... This guy has blue hair. Okay, that's not it. The real oddity is this octopus-like creature. I mean, what is it, and what is it doing in a student's classroom? And you know, the cool thing about this page is it begins with this exact question. Just what is this guy? In the podcast, I spoke about how story openings revolve around two concepts. Curiosity. Am I intrigued about what's going on here? Emotion. Are these opening pages making me feel something? Now, I'm sure a lot of you are going to be like, well, curiosity is an emotion, but for the context of this conversation, I want you to think of curiosity like a puzzle that you just have to solve. It's an active emotion, whereas the emotional element is more like a roller coaster that's making you just feel alive. Now, by inserting the question, just who is this guy, in the beginning of the story, Matsui piques our curiosity to the max. And we begin to ask more questions, such as, why is this guy? By the way, the name of the character is Koro-sensei. So why is Koro-sensei dressed like a university professor? Why is he teaching a class of students? And why do these children look so nervous? Overall, this is an amazing opening page because it poses multiple questions and we want answers. So naturally, many of us are going to read on. Then we get to the double page spread. Now, if the first page made you ask a few questions, then this two-page spread pushes your curiosity meter off the charts. Honestly, what in God's name is going on here? Why do all of these children have guns? And why does Koro-sensei look so jovial despite being surrounded by nervous children, armed with fully automatic weapons? Then we get given our first answer. The children are supposedly professional killers, and that only begs more questions. Then we get given another answer. Koro-sensei is smiling because he's confident that these weapons won't harm him. You see, he's fast enough to dodge bullets. So now we know he's fast, we know he has powers, but that only creates more questions. If I go through every panel across these opening pages, the same pattern is going to repeat itself. For every answer we get given, it only poses even more questions. It's like a slot machine, except we don't lose any money. These opening pages also inspire a whole spectrum of emotions. The fact that Koro-sensei is taking attendance while dodging all of these bullets is just hilarious. It's fantastic how Matsui transforms something as mundane as a simple roll call to an exciting read. And this is also setting up the kind of world that we're going to be inhabiting for over the course of this series. He's making use of something I like to call order within chaos, because if you read carefully, we're being told everything we need to know about this story while all of the madness is going on. By the time we get to page 10, we've really been given the entire story in a nutshell. The students are assassins. Their objective is to kill Koro-sensei, and he's actively trying to help them. Look at this panel right here. He's showing them, look, these bullets actually work on me, which is just bizarre, hilarious, just so many emotions I feel right now looking at that particular panel. It's just great. So he's also teaching them how to be better assassins. And as the story progresses, we realize that he's actually helping them be better people, suggesting that he cares about what he's doing, which is bizarre because he's trying to get them to kill him as well. Finally, the students have until graduation to kill Koro-sensei. This panel is key because notice how Koro-sensei's face changes. His eyes are now slanting and he has these red lines across his face. Previously, he had been so relaxed and jovial, but now there's a bit more of an intensity to his demeanor. Matsui is trying to communicate that this graduation deadline is not just some arbitrary date. There's a reason why they must kill him before graduation, creating this sense of urgency. Matsui has done in 10 pages what many writers fail to do in 30, or even 60. He's set up the world of the story, he's introduced the central characters, their objectives. We now know that there's a ticking clock, and he's giving us a feel for the story, the kind of story we should expect. Quirky, over the top, but there's also something more serious beneath the surface. It's not just a comedy. So, to summarize, Matsui has piqued our curiosity by posing several questions that we want answers to. He stimulated our emotions using a mixture of humor and chaos. He has set up the characters, their objectives, the deadline for them to meet these objectives, and he's given us a strong sense of the world that he's pulling us into, all in merely 10 pages. As a writer, I can't help but marvel at such an excellent opening sequence. It really is great, and I highly recommend that you look up this series. Personally, I feel like it's a little bit underrated, but everyone that loves Assassination Classroom loves Assassination Classroom. In any case, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. As I alluded to earlier, we do have a podcast, so I've put links in the description in case you want to subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.